Hello everyone, I am Mike DeWan with the Region Sports Network, here from the Inferno for another 100-yard walk, this time with the Lowell head football coach, Casey McKim. Coach, how are we doing?
Absolutely excellent.
Yeah,
Love it.
It's we just got through some competition Friday. We saw with your guys out there. A great time of the year, but Coach, we'll take it all the way back to last year. Your first season with the Lowell Red Devils. A fun start, obviously, that first week against Crown Point, a tough contest, kind of a litmus test, if you will.
Yeah.
You guys kind of rattled off some games, though, competed very well in the conference, although things kind of came up short in the tournament. What was kind of your overall, I guess, outlook from 2025 with your first year with RDP?
I mean, the biggest thing is I just think the kids, they bought in right away as soon as we came in. A lot of new coaches. You know, our main focus was really just playing hard, fast, and physical. And, you know, we weren't great at some of those details yet, but we were going to play hard and physical. And the kids really bought into it, and it was great to see. But, yeah, coming up short's hard, but we made a little bit of progress.
Yeah, I'm sure you've answered this question a lot, Coach, but this is really kind of our first interaction with you since you've taken this job. But going back to kind of before even last season, what did you see in Lowell, the program itself? Again, obviously, a lot of tradition we'll probably get into all throughout this walk. But, Coach, I'd like to hear kind of your thoughts on taking this job, about kind of this time about a year and a half ago.
I mean, the last two coaches have coached for 15 years plus. They're both going to be Hall of Fame coaches. Yep. You know you're going to get tough kids in a community that cares, and kids are willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. And I don't know a coach in the world that's not what you're looking at the most. You want people who want to win and do what it takes to win, and I felt like this was the place for that.
And looking at last year's squad, especially, we talked about how you guys competed, although, again, coming up short, we talked about that. But a senior-led class as well. What could you say kind of about that group as they now kind of depart from the program, but give back to what is, again, Lowell football?
Absolutely. They had a lot of experience coming into last year. Some of those guys started 3 years. You know, the big thing that I would say about them is, you know, they were a very capable group. We had to move some guys around, but, you know, they really bought in right away, and that led to everybody else buying into what it was we were trying to do. But it's going to be hard to replace some of those guys, there's no question. But they set the foundation that's going to lead us forward for the next few years, and I'm just really proud of what they did and how they did it.
Year one versus year two, how does that differ? Maybe a little bit for you, a little bit more comfortable potentially, and on the ground, here at Lowell. But just talk to me, I guess, about that difference between last year, now again getting into year two for you.
I think the biggest thing is, as coaches, one of the big focus when I came in was getting aligned as soon as possible, talking the same language. Now it's just, you don't even have to think about it. It's not having to work to get just aligned. We are aligned, thinking the same things, talking about the types of body types, where we want to put them, and just really like what our culture is, and making sure that toughness, hard work, all those things are always communicated at every position level, every single day, every single rep. The other thing I guess I would say is the weight room. I've really noticed a major shift. That was our major focus in the off season. We wanted to get stronger. We really started down that path, and I definitely saw a change in the culture, the intensity that the kids are bringing every single day. Coaches aren't going to be the ones that have to bring the energy. Our guys are bringing it every day, and that's what you want to see in a good program.
Yeah, we saw some energy out here not too long ago, Coach. Talk to us a little bit about, again, building up, although there might be some multi-sport athletes and whatnot. We know the off-season is kind of one of those times where who we can get in the weight room and have some fun, have some competition with. But like today, just not too long ago, again, seeing from your guys, what more can you say about the competition and kind of the guys just gelling together these early kind of parts of the off-season?
Well, cheering each other on, that's what happens in the weight room, pushing each other, making other guys uncomfortable, telling them that they can do it. But the biggest thing in my mind is you got to show up first. Since spring break, we really started to track it a lot heavier. We focused on some other things in the first half, but we had over 90% attendance of guys who are out of season. But you also want your athletes to go and compete in other sports. It's not like those guys are sitting around doing nothing. Those guys are going playing big at bats. They're running big races. They're doing a lot of things that are going to help them compete on a Friday night.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit home run with our managed and top-tier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, schools, and AV solutions.
Strack and Van Til for the win with 4 ways to save. Catch price drops on over 15,000 items and check the weekly ad for can't miss deals. Stack on the rewards program for digital coupons, points toward discounts and free products, and power up with our own brands. Keep your budget in the safety zone. Get the same great taste as national labels at lower prices. If you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Score big value with 4 ways to save at Strack and Van Til.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
You talked about the culture, Coach, and as well as the coaches before you, 15 plus years of the program each. One thing that kind of always ranged true with Lowell, again, Red Devil pride, right? How have you kind of instilled that on your own some, and then again provided that for the kids, under your watch?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, we have coaching legends around here, Jim Carlson, also known as CC. We have a variety of guys who've been around the program, and the big thing is, what are the traditions? What traditions maybe do we need to bring back? But the biggest thing in my mind is making sure that the kids understand and know that there's been people before them that have put themselves in this position to be a part of a proud, hardworking program, and you have to live up to that because of what the other people before you have done. And our young men have really responded to that message.
That's well said, Coach. The 50 is an important place for all 100-yard walks. The logo, of course, always a big thing. And what could you say what this logo kind of stands for, Coach, as well as, again, year 2 with this now, this community, this RDP community. It's a unique one, but a very, very strong one. I'd like to hear kind of your take on it all.
Yeah, I mean, the community's been unbelievable. Every single person is wanting to be involved and help in any way they can, whether it's been fundraising. I know that we've had kids who, spent extra time even outside of the weight room doing other stuff. The thing in my mind, what it really comes down to is that you have families and we have coaches who are working for very little. Like, we have guys who just want to be a part of it. And it's allowed us to grow our staff quite a bit this offseason. And we even had a pretty full staff last year, but we have guys who are willing to do whatever it takes. And that all starts with the pride in the community, the people who've been through this program, people who've seen it year over year, who've been in those stands. And so it's I'm humbly proud to be a part of something like this. And I'm very thankful because it's special.
What a beautiful facility. Oh my goodness. Oh, this really come up in what, a couple years, 2-3 years time? You got the kind of front, firsthand experience, kind of seeing, practicing, I bet, as things were still going up here. Great work done here at Lowell High School. A little bit more about you, Coach, before we kind of dive even into 2026. I know you had some region ties, of course, as well. Went to Valparaiso, coached at Valparaiso, went out to New Prairie, and then obviously you're now here. How has those prior experiences, whether as a Valparaiso player, a coach, or even your work done at New Prairie, led you kind of to this moment here at Lowell?
I mean, I think as a coach, you're always trying to get to that next level. As a coordinator at Valpo, and you got to control that side of the ball, and you really want to expand upon it. At New Prairie, you're the person who's ahead of culture as well as doing all of those things. And so focusing on all those small little details. Here where we're at now, we have enough coaches. Our coordinators don't coach a position. I don't coach a position. It allows us to make sure that the position coaches are coaching. If we have a struggle or something, we're not communicating directly to that. We're fixing it right now. We're not waiting until after practice. And I think that is an absolutely massive thing. So my goal has really been to make sure everybody else is doing their job and focusing. And that's been a transition from what I've done in the past where sometimes we didn't have enough coaches. And so you're just trying to get enough set of eyes. We have enough eyes and we have enough people making sure everything's aligned and we're doing the things that we need to do in the way we need to do it.
That's very interesting. The makeup of your team come 2026, Coach. You talked about, yes, some seniors will depart from the program. What have you seen a little bit? We talked about it with competing, having fun, of course, as well. Numbers have been great. But what have you seen, like maybe kind of the X's and O's from your guys heading into this fall, and maybe if there are any names that stick out that we should expect come this fall?
Well, I'll say, we have 3 returners on each side of the ball, which isn't a whole lot. But we have some guys we feel really, really good about. Obviously, Timothy James, who led the conference in rushing last year, is going to play a major role. We had two linebackers, Jonathan Judd, as well as Jerron Cannon, who are going to play, done great in the weight room. They're going to play a massive role. We got 2 O-linemen returning, Soto as well as Quadra. They've gotten stronger, faster, more athletic. So across the board, and then we had some guys who had some really good JV seasons that were kind of just not ready to play varsity last year as a sophomore that we think are going to be big-time impact players. So across the board, we might only have 3 returning on each side, but great programs reload and rebuild quickly. And I always believe that, and I think it's the expectation. You should be ready to go. It's your time, so you better fill those shoes and don't just fill them. Be great.
No doubt about it, Coach. You guys have a loaded summer in terms of, we know there's a team camp, a couple big scrimmages coming up. Please tell the people a little bit more of what to expect for you guys, where you guys are going to go this summer.
Yeah, we got Manchester camp where we spend a few days. We scrimmage some other teams. Really allows us to dig into the X's and O's, the technique, watch some film with the guys. And then we are going to face 4 DAC schools. We're going to scrimmage Lake Central, Chesterton. We're going to scrimmage at Michigan City. And then Valpo is the only one that's going to come to us here late in July.
Yeah, and you said it, some Duneland foes, and that kind of leads you into the schedule, right? Of course, we have the big rivalry game week 1. There's another Duneland opponent in there as well. Then, of course, the NCC play, which is always a competitive race. Talk to us about that, and even if you want to kind of dip into what's always a fun sectional, of course, as well at the 4A level.
Yeah, I mean, we start off in a really, really difficult start of the year. I mean, you have Crown Point, who's been undefeated in the regular season, I want to say the last 4 years. They're a physically dominant football program that's extremely well coached. That is always a major challenge. Then LaPorte last year really got their legs under them later in the season, really pushed for a 5A sectional, was only a touchdown away from winning a 5A sectional championship. And then we have Griffith, who's Coach Mason's done an outstanding job. They have some athletes on the outside that's really hard to face, and then you're right into NCC play where you face Hanover, which has been an unbelievable program the last few years, and of course, then the schedule continues to get harder with the returning state champion and Andrean, as well as Hobart, who won our sectional this past year. Hammond Morton coming into the sectional, it just gets more competitive. Our goal is to get better every single week. We need to be playing our best at the end of the year. We had some good weeks last year, but in the end, we didn't play our best football when we needed to. But that historically has been my number one goal, and so we got to make that happen this year. We need to be playing our best, whether it's good enough or not. We need to be playing the best football at the end.
I'm Crowell Company's Lantern Man. If you're a contractor, it's my job to make your insurance coverage simple and affordable. Because I know time is money, I'll come to your business. Certificates and bonds are a snap. Wherever you are, whatever business you're in, we've got you covered. As Crowell Company's Lantern Man, I'm your insurance superhero.
Crowell Company's Insurance Professionals, Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it. The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship, the best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT. Got it, Coach. All right, the red zone is for rapid fire. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let's get to it. Give me a favorite football player. We'll start with from your childhood, and maybe if there's anybody, a couple players you could rattle off in today's game that stick out with you that you like to watch.
I mean, I wasn't that young, but Brian Urlacher, just how fast and explosive he was just flying around. I mean, that's what you want to see from players. There's a ton of guys today. I mean, tight ends especially, like people like Kittle and things like that, that both have the athleticism but want to punch you right in the mouth is fantastic.
Favorite football team? Both, we can go college and the pros.
Purdue for football. I was a manager under Joe Tiller when I was there, and then the Chicago Bears.
Good man, good man. Best piece of advice in your coaching or even player career we could talk about, football life, I guess, if you will, that still kind of rings true with you on the gridiron today?
I would say the biggest thing is focus on what really matters. I'm not even sure where I heard it from or who told me, but just focus on what really matters. And a lot of times it's people, and that's going to lead to really good results. And so just focus on what matters most. Sometimes other things get in the way. Don't let it.
Like it. Favorite Lowell tradition, Lowell football tradition?
I think one of the best things is the kids handing out their jerseys to the teachers for them to wear on Fridays. I think that is especially unique. It those things that make this place special, which is community and football.
No doubt about it. We will go with your favorite football memory.
Favorite football memory. I mean, anytime you're heading to state, which as a player I've gone once, as an assistant coach I've gone once, and as a head coach I've gone once. The feeling winning the semi-state on that field, knowing that you're going to go play in front of a bunch of people in a really special moment, all three of those are all special and unique in their own way.
What is a team bonding experience, an activity maybe? We saw kind of the towel games you guys are playing on the logo out there. Is there maybe a team activity we could expect in the summer, some bonding that, kind of sticks with you? That's just like, okay, it brings these guys together.
I mean, most of it's competitive stuff. I mean, in the weight room, seeing those guys just get around each other when a kid feels like he can't do another rep, and every single person's yelling at the top of their lungs to get one more rep, and then they fail, and they're like, try it again. And I think that's the most special one, because every single person standing around you wants you to succeed.
I like it. What about a sports movie that sticks with you?
Sports movie, I would say, there's just so many good ones. I mean, Remember the Titans is hard to argue.
That's been popular.
As a sports movie. I was actually a basketball player growing up, so it's hard to not say Hoosiers as well. But, it's about what it takes, that standard, and being relentless at all times.
I like it. All right, Coach, we'll finish out with this. I mean, any final words on what to expect from year 2 for you here at Lowell High School and just this 2026 Lowell Red Devil squad?
I mean, the biggest thing I would say is I'm just really proud of what the guys did the first year, but, we're not anywhere close to satisfied. We didn't get where we wanted to. We saw some really good things. We scored the highest average point total in 17 years, last 17 seasons, lowest giving up point total in the last 5 seasons. Those are good things, but in the end, we have to go win those trophies and do what it takes to win those trophies. It's not just about the results, it's about what it takes. If you're focusing on the result, you're focusing on the wrong thing. And the last part of that, I would say, is we did that at times last year. This year's about consistently doing it. And so consistency is going to be the big thing.
Awesome. All right, that's it from us here from the Inferno. For Coach Casey McKim, I'm Mike DeWan signing off here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, yo. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50%
Insurance. Here!
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.